space station.
We'll get to enjoy these views periodically as the International Space Station and Crew Dragon fly over the Earth. These views provided by passes over ground stations that are taking the live feeds from the cameras on board station, delivering them past the ground stations and over to us here in Mission Control Hawthorne. The approach initiation burn is expected to last for 90 seconds, a minute and a half, and that is a major burn to take us into the approach ellipsoid, where a whole new set of flight rules has to take place. We'll have teams here in Mission Control Hawthorne as well as Mission Control Houston looking at the same procedures, the crew as well, onboard Dragon as well as the International Space Station. We should hear them communicating over the big loop that loops in the two flying spacecraft, being both the Crew Dragon and the International Space Station, as well as the two flight control teams in Houston and here in Hawthorne.
And you could see that the crew, again, is getting ready for this approach phase of the mission, and they're getting their hands back into their gloves. These suits are, the proportion of the suit is a single piece, so these gloves are a part of that upper portion of the suit. So you can see those almost like red tags that they're pulling on, and that's because that makes it a lot easier for them to zip those gloves on and create that seal for the suit.
We can periodically get a peek from behind the astronauts looking at their screen. If you notice the center screen, that is the trajectory. You can see them on a plane about 2.5 kilometers rather below the International Space Station, and that approach initiation burn is sort of a slope that'll bring them up to the R-bar of the International Space Station, the R-bar going directly through the space station from top to bottom, and essentially that R-bar meeting at that point directly below the International Space Station. That point will be about 400 meters, or about a half a mile, and that'll be the first waypoint after the approach initiation as Dragon makes its way to dock to the station. There are two more waypoints, waypoint 1 and waypoint 2. Waypoint 0 is 400 meters below the station on the R-bar.
And the crew is waiting for that approach initiation burn to begin.
We're expecting that in about 30 seconds from now.
And the crew is out in space, so they actually won't hear too much. They'll just kind of hear some clicks of those thrusters and pumps turning on and off.
Wow, an incredible view. This is from the International Space Station looking at the Dragon. Station and Dragon are flying over the Philippines right now, about to head over Australia in an orbital daytime.
That is a pretty cool view.
Again, we're standing by. All right, and we're hearing that burn has started. The approach initiation burn using the service section Dracos. It's a 90-second burn. The Draco thrusters on Dragon have just started to fire for the approach initiation burn. Dragon is currently 2.5 kilometers below the station and about 7 kilometers behind it. Again, this burn will swing Dragon up until it's about 400 meters or about a quarter mile directly below the station. This maneuver will also move Dragon inside one of 2 checkpoints around the station that requires a set of go, no-go poles with the different control teams. The first checkpoint is called the approach ellipsoid, or as you might hear called the AE. It's an imaginary shape measuring 4 kilometers by 2 kilometers by 2 kilometers, essentially a large 3-dimensional oval. Before Dragon is given permission to move inside the approach ellipsoid, the capsule is configured to be on what is known as a 24-hour safe trajectory. This means if Dragon lost all control to its thrusters, it would be at least 24 hours before its trajectory would move inside the approach ellipsoid.
And again, we are currently burning for that approach initiation burn. Should be ending here shortly. And Dragon does have the ability to perform a mid-course maneuver about halfway through the journey to waypoint 0 to ensure the Dragon is positioned right under the station, 400 meters below. You've got this really very cool view on your screen of Dragon with some daylight.
Dragon SpaceX on the big loop. The approach initiation is complete and nominal. As a reminder, you now have impulsive retreat recovery cue cards available for your review.
Number copies on the big loop.
And that concludes the approach initiation burn.
That's right. So the cue cards that were referenced are just the next series of milestones. They're going to track the performance of the approach initiation burn on its way up to rendezvous with the International Space Station, of course, passing through a series of waypoints, but they are going to monitor the trajectory and have the option at various points during the approach to execute some abort maneuvers. So they'll be reviewing those to make sure they are prepared. Again, we have a nominal approach initiation burn. Burn for 90 seconds. Now that's the last major burn. The crew and the ground teams will have the option to perform a mid-course maneuver should it be needed. And that would be just to fine-tune the approach to make sure the Dragon is targeting a precise point 400 meters directly below the station.
Again, we have this really awesome view from the International Space Station looking at Dragon. You can see that it is currently with the background of daylight. This view just...
Dragon SpaceX for suit leak checks.
Go ahead, SpaceX.
All right, Megan. You are go to begin suit leak checks per procedure 4.011.
Copy, that's in work.
We just heard some communications that they will begin their suit leak checks for the crew on board. This is the same standard suit leak checks that they did when they were at the O&C building getting suited up for flight, as well as when they ingressed on Dragon initially. Again, they did doff their suits for the ride towards the International Space Station, but now they have donned their suits again. So because they have put these suits back on, they're doing another suit leak check to make sure that the suits are ready to go. Again, the suits are there in case of any cabin depressurization. So just making sure that everything is functioning properly prior to docking with the space station.
All right, we're tracking the Dragon now about 6.6 kilometers or about 4 miles away from the International Space Station. We are tracking an additional maneuver, a mid-course maneuver that would happen inside 22 minutes from now, expected at about 12:58 a.m. Pacific time.
SpaceX Endeavour on Dragon to ground. We are ready to initiate suit leak check.
Dragon SpaceX, you are go to command initiate suit leak check.
Copy, in work.
All right, so that's suit leak check coming up. That's going to be another major key event. Now that we're inside or about to enter into the approach ellipsoid, we are in joint operations. So the Dragon control teams here in Hawthorne are working with the flight controllers over in Mission Control Houston and need to follow a joint set of flight rules now that we're in a very dynamic period. of the flight inside the approach ellipsoid or about to pass into it. That will be critical to have an extra safety precaution of suits pressurized, just in case of any event that there would be a cabin leak. The crew themselves will be protected from any leak should that occur. Now, once the Dragon rather is docked to the station and holding pressure.
Dragon SpaceX, we see the onboard caution for RGPS 3. There's no crew action required at this time.
We copy.
What you're seeing behind Dragon from this view is Australia. The Dragon and International Space Station on a southeasterly course heading towards the South Pacific Ocean. They're going to enter into an orbital nighttime here soon, so the views will get slightly darker through this first part of the approach phase, passing into the approach ellipsoid. Again, during this after the approach initiation burn, the crew themselves have their suits configured and are undergoing a leak check. We're expecting to wrap up that leak check in just a few seconds. And we should hear a status of the leak check from here in Hawthorne.
And it looks like we got some cabin views there on your left-hand screen. Again, we are able to provide these once Dragon does pass over a ground station. So it is a bit intermittent.
SpaceX Endeavour, we saw 4 good leak checks.
SpaceX copies and concurs for good suit leak checks.
We heard some confirmation that those suit leak checks are now complete and they all are functioning properly in preparation for this approach to the International Space Station. And again, we have that internal view of Crew Dragon. All 4 crew members are strapped into their seats. They are preparing for the final maneuvers to make their way to the International Space Station. And this is a view from the International Space Station looking at Dragon. As that dot in the center of the screen with the Earth in the background.
Very cool. We'll get to appreciate these views from the cameras on board the station, looking back at the Earth for just a little while longer. We're about to cross over the Terminator line. So the views you're seeing here will start to get just a little bit darker as we pass into an orbital nighttime over the South Pacific Ocean.
Again, if you're just now joining us, this is a live view inside of Crew Dragon. This is the Crew-2 mission.
Dragon SpaceX for RGPS caution.
Go ahead, SpaceX.
All right, we still have 5 converged filters for RGPS, and we only need 1, so we are not going to be troubleshooting at this time. Dragon is still go for approach. How copy?
Endeavour copies, no troubleshooting, still go for approach.
We just heard some call-outs that they did have a caution notice, but it sounds like it is nothing to worry about, and they are still go for approach. Again, we have completed the approach initiation burn.
All right, you're hearing some chatter over Dragon to Ground about the RGPS. These GPS units use position data transmitted from the International Space Station to perform relative GPS navigation. There are 6 on board the Crew Dragon. Only 1 is needed for this phase of flight. So we're in a good position as we're in the approach and docking phase of Crew Dragon's eventual arrival to the forward port of the International Space Station. As promised, the views of Dragon starting to get darker as we enter into an orbital nighttime over the South Pacific Ocean. Getting good views from inside the cabin of Crew Dragon to see that center screen, monitoring the trajectory, just really following that line up to the big dot, the big center there. That is the International Space Station.
And again, Dragon is flying autonomously, so they are not manually flying Dragon. That is not what they're using the display panels for. They are just using those displays to monitor their progress along the way. Again, we are getting some intermittent views inside of Crew Dragon as we pass over ground stations. And as Gary mentioned, we no longer have that daylight view. So that background is now that black space, dark view.
Now we're expected to be in a sunrise as station makes its way through this approach phase of flight. It's planned to execute an approach initiation mid-course burn, and then teams will conduct a go-no-go to approach waypoint 1, which is about 400 meters directly below the International Space Station. We should be expecting a sunrise about that time, but we'll be in an orbital nighttime until those next milestones. Contact and capture at 2:10 a.m. Pacific time is scheduled to occur just before an orbital sunset. On Dragon's approach, it's about 3,700 meters or 3.7 kilometers away from the International Space Station as it approaches inside 2.5 miles from the International Space Station.
And this portion of the mission is, even though they are very, very close to the station, it is some precise maneuvers, so they do want to move very slow and steady with multiple checkpoints along the way to ensure that the spacecraft is safe and the space station is safe as well. So we are taking our time here. So even though we do get closer and closer, it will still take just a little over an hour or so for the Crew Dragon to dock with the International Space Station.
Meanwhile, again, Crew Dragon is not the only spacecraft in flight right now. It's about to meet up with the International Space Station. We're hearing from the control teams over there that the International Space Station itself has maneuvered to its docking attitude. The station itself undergoing a series of procedures to make sure it is prepared as an orbiting complex to receive the Crew Dragon. This view from the Dragon itself.
And what an incredible view that is. You can really see the outline of the International Space Station. Really shows you how close they are getting to docking.
Absolutely. That view is from about 2 miles away as the Dragon makes its approach to station.
Now we're looking at Dragon from the International Space Station in this view that you're seeing here on your screen.
A common question we get relative to International Space Station cameras has to do with all the different colored pixels you see from this camera view. The pixels themselves have been exposed to the radiation environment that is in low Earth orbit. So cameras every once in a while will have dead pixels experienced from some of the radiation that is in this environment.
And you can see the camera kind of moving and adjusting as Dragon makes its way to the space station, and that is because it's being controlled by a human on the ground. That is in Mission Control Houston.
That's right, that position being Cronus. They're locked on to Crew Dragon Endeavour. All right, so we'll have intermittent dropouts from the cameras aboard the International Space Station. Of course, they're flying at 17,500 miles per hour, and they're using tracking and data relay satellites, geosynchronous satellites that are positioned about 23,000 miles away from the Earth. So they'll just have periodic handovers between some of the satellites as the two orbiting spacecraft make their way around the Earth. They're now over the Pacific Ocean in orbital nighttime. They're expected to be there for quite some time. We're coming up on a couple of milestones, one of them being a mid-course maneuver, just another small burn just to make sure we're in line, to make sure we're getting to that first waypoint. There are 3 waypoints, waypoints 0, 1, and 2, and waypoint 0 is 400 meters directly below the International Space Station.
Again, if you're just now joining us, we have completed the approach initiation burn. And as Gary mentioned, we are coming up on the next burn, being the mid-course burn, in about a little under 15 minutes or so.
Dragon's about 2.5 kilometers away from station now, just a little more than 1.5 miles.
If you're just now joining us, we are monitoring and providing updates on the Crew-2 as they make their way to the International Space Station. The view that you're seeing on your screen is of Mission Control Hawthorne. And as we get live views of Dragon, from Dragon as well as from the International Space Station as they pass over ground stations, we will provide those, but they will be intermittent, as you can see here. And there on your right-hand screen is Mission Control in Houston. So on your left-hand screen is Mission Control Hawthorne, where we are working the Crew Dragon, whereas Mission Control Houston is working the International Space Station.
Both control rooms looking over a similar set of flight rules. These are joint flight rules by both teams, both understanding what each spacecraft is doing to prepare for Crew Dragon's arrival.
And they currently are in integrated operation, so they are working together for these final maneuvers for Dragon to approach and dock to the International Space Station.
Dragon still making its way to meet up with the International Space Station. It's a little more than 1.25 miles away, or just more than 2 kilometers. We're tracking a mid-course burn coming up in approximately 3 minutes from now.
Again, if you're just now joining us, we have completed the approach initiation burn. We are coming up on a mid-course burn here shortly in just under 10 minutes. And then following that mid-course burn, we will be making our way to waypoint 0, which is just a checkpoint. If we need to, we can pause Crew Dragon there until it's ready to make its way to waypoint 1. But if everything looks good by the time it gets to waypoint 0, it can just continue on without holding at waypoint 0 and just continue on to waypoint 1.
Dragon SpaceX for RGPS 3 caution.
Go ahead, Six.
All right, we looked into the RGPS fault, and we are comfortable resetting this filter to try and bring it back to regain additional fault tolerance, but we are still go for the upcoming maneuver. How copy?
We copy all. Thanks for the update.
All right, so the team's on the ground going to try to recover one of these 6 RGPS units that provide relative navigation. They are redundant systems, but they're going to go ahead and try to recover it as we await the mid-course burn scheduled to come up here very shortly. The performance of that burn should set them up to determine its alignment with waypoint 0, which is 400 meters or about a quarter mile directly below the International Space Station. And whether or not it will proceed past that point, which we've seen for the past couple of flights on Dragons. They've proceeded past the waypoint 0 mark and swung up and out in front of the station to the 220-meter mark, which is designated as waypoint 1. All right, we got confirmation that the mid-course maneuver has started. All right, we're about a minute into the mid-course maneuver.
Dragon SpaceX on the big loop. Mid-course correction maneuver is complete and nominal. Trajectory has converged on waypoint 0.
Denver copies all. Good news.
All right, you just heard that confirmation from the Corps here in Mission Control Hawthorne. We just executed the 90-second mid-course maneuver, which again is done about halfway from our starting point of approach initiation to waypoint 0. It's a small burn just to fine-tune the approach, ensure we're targeting a precise point 400 meters directly below the station.
Once Dragon arrives at 400 meters below station, it will be at what is known as waypoint 0 and will be the first checkpoint during our approach. The vehicle can hold here at 400 meters, but if all systems check out, then it can just continue on to approach waypoint 1. So we are just waiting for confirmation once we get to waypoint 0.
Dragon SpaceX for our GPS caution.
Go ahead for our GPS.
All right, Megan, we had a successful convergence of the RGPS USOS filter. So we are back to having 6 converged filters. Still go for approach, and we are going to be clearing your onboard alert. How copy?
Denver copies all, but it's good news. Thanks.
All right, that confirmation from the ground, the recovery procedures that they put forth to recover one of the 6 RGPS units was successful. Now they have 6 up and running, fully functional RGPS. That'll help with the relative navigation through this next phase of flight with a good mid-course maneuver that sets us up, and the Dragon itself has been confirmed converged onto waypoint 0, which is 400 meters below the International Space Station. All right, we're following along Dragon's trajectory, now completing both the approach initiation burn and a mid-course maneuver to get it in line with that first waypoint, waypoint 0. That's 400 meters directly below the International Space Station. We're looking to get confirmation that the station is passing inside the approach ellipsoid, now just a little more than a kilometer away and approaching fast. We should be able to get that call shortly. In addition, we're about 15 or so minutes away from arrival to waypoint 0. Should be conducting a go, no-go with both of the control teams that you see on your screen. The left is mission control teams in Hawthorne looking after the SpaceX Crew Dragon vehicle, and mission control Houston looking after the International Space Station, both, of course, looking after each other's vehicles and monitoring the approach through a set of joint procedures. So that go, no-go poll will ensure that Dragon is looking good to proceed with converging onto waypoint 0, and that the International Space Station is ready to receive Dragon as it makes its way through these next few milestones. Dragon's now less than a kilometer away from the International Space Station inside the approach ellipsoid.
We got the view from the International Space Station back, looking at Dragon as it's making its approach. And it is orbital nighttime, so the background is dark, but you can see that blinking light on the screen. That is Dragon in the distance.
The International Space Station is over the South Pacific Ocean still. It's on a northeasterly course and will pass over Panama, over Central America very soon, and then over the Caribbean. As it makes its way over the Atlantic Ocean, that's where the terminator line is, so we should start seeing views get a little bit brighter. Sunrise is expected in about 16 minutes from now.
Again, we're just now waiting. We're about under 10 minutes from the go, no go to see if we can proceed.
Dragon SpaceX on the big loop. Ground is go for approach 0, and we will be enabling the maneuver shortly. Expected maneuver start time is at 0819 UTC.
Copy 0819 for the maneuver.
Good readback. And Dragon will nominally continue approach through waypoint 1 towards waypoint 2 without stopping at waypoint 1.
Endeavour copies.
And we got that confirmation that Dragon will just continue through waypoint 1 and head on over to waypoint 2. No stopping there, so
That's good, and that means the ground teams both in Mission Control Hawthorne and Houston have pulled go to proceed with that. So Dragon itself will go through waypoint 0, 400 meters below, and when it swings up and out in front of the International Space Station at 220 meters, it will not pause. It's going to go ahead and head right in.
And Station Houston on the Big Loop. Expect to start monitoring Dragon in approximately 25 minutes.
Station copies. Standing by.
The voice you heard from the ground was from Mission Control in Houston. That's Capcom Kathy Bolt talking with Victor Glover aboard the International Space Station. It's his role today to monitor Dragon's approach. It's a busy day for the astronauts aboard, but he's scheduled to head over and start the monitoring procedures using the RPOP, or Rendezvous Proximity Operations Panel. It provides telemetry from the Crew Dragon as it makes its way, so he'll have another view. Of course, there's a lot of support from both of the control centers that you see here on your screen, monitoring as well. Victor Glover, though, will have the benefit of having a view for himself. We'll have a window and be able to look at Dragon's approach through the cupola window. We're about 10 minutes to waypoint 0. Dragon continuing its approach. The mid-course maneuver sets Dragon up to rendezvous with waypoint 0, which is 400 meters directly below the station. Dragon is now inside 600 meters, so 200 meters to go.
If you're just now joining us, and you're seeing on the screen this dark screen with a blinking light, this is a view from the International Space Station looking at Dragon as Dragon is getting closer and closer to the station. We'll be docking with the station in just about an hour, with our Crew-2 astronauts on board. Once we finish docking, there will be a process to ensure that both the station and Crew Dragon are safe, with opening the hatches before the crew can ingress. So crew ingress to the station will happen approximately 2 hours after docking is complete. Again, Dragon is getting very close to the station, but these are some precise maneuvers that it does need to make. Despite how close it is to the station, we want to make sure that we are checking in on both vehicles each step of the way to ensure the safety of both vehicles throughout this entire process prior to docking, prior to Crew Dragon docking with the space station.
The views of Dragon should get a little bit lighter, and we should be able to see Dragon clearly as it makes its way to, or crosses, rather, waypoint 0. What you're seeing now are the navigation lights on Dragon. The blinking is the navigation light you can see on the forward end of Dragon, exposed by the open nose cone. And you can see the green and red lights there. Green denoting the starboard side and red denoting the port side. So the view you're seeing is an upside down view. Again, Dragon is approaching from underneath the station and will swing up and out in front of it to align with the docking axis at the forward port of the International Space Station.
Now, when we say beneath, we're talking about basically between the Earth and the space station.
Right.
And when it swings up and out in front of the docking port, it will be adjacent to the station.
Dragon SpaceX for Dragon Eye status.
Go ahead, SpaceX.
All right, Megan, for awareness, we may lose Dragon Eye convergence prior to or during approach 0. If we were to lose Dragon Eye convergence prior to approach 0 starting, we would enter into go to 0. And if we lost Dragon Eye convergence during approach 0, we would temporarily transition to approach 0 coast. And then if this happened, it would result in onboard alerts. How copy?
We copy all.
The Dragon Eye system mentioned on board Crew Dragon is an optical navigation system that measures the vehicle's relative position for precision approach and docking. So the data we're seeing of Dragon's distance from the station and its rate of approach, partially coming from those Dragon Eye systems. The Corps mentioned a slew maneuver as Dragon approaches waypoint 0. That's expected here in about 2.5 minutes. It'll help to align and converge with waypoint 0 directly below the International Space Station.
All right. Wow, we've got a very close-up view of the International Space Station from Dragon. And you can see how close we're getting. Again, this is from below the station, meaning between Earth and the station. And now we have some internal views of Crew Dragon.
International Space Station is now 260 statute miles over Panama, close enough to pass over the ground stations over the Cape in Florida, providing some of these incredible views from Dragon.
And the crew is in their suits and seats, patiently waiting as Crew Dragon approaches the International Space Station, which is what you're looking at on your screen. This is a view from Crew Dragon looking at the station.
You can see this is almost directly below the International Space Station. We're coming up on the R bar, or essentially directly below. That's waypoint 0, coming up in less than a minute and a half.
SpaceX for awareness, the geo filters did just converge on Dragon Eye, so we do not expect them to drop out.
That's great news, SpaceX. Thanks.
Crew continues to monitor Dragon's approach to waypoint 0, coming up in about a minute. The lights from the outside of the International Space Station illuminating the radiators. Those are those long rectangular shapes you're seeing coming down at the bottom of your screen. Almost directly below the International Space Station at waypoint 0, 30 seconds and counting.
And we did hear the Corps mention that they will not stop at waypoint 0, so they will just pass through this checkpoint.
Okay, and we have confirmation we just passed waypoint 0. The service section Draco thrusters fired to converge with the approach maneuver to meet up with waypoint 1. That'll be directly in front of the International Space Station. So now we're making our way now, not officially behind the station, making our way in front of the station.
Dragon, SpaceX on the big loop. Approach 0 is in progress, and the trajectory has converged on waypoint 1. Expected arrival at waypoint 1 at 0845.
Zero 0845 at waypoint 1. Thanks.
And as expected, as we pass waypoint 1, we're starting to get some of the sun illuminating the station. Hopefully we'll still continue to get some of these views from the cabin and from the exterior of the Dragon, looking up at the International Space Station as we pass into an orbital sunrise over the Atlantic Ocean. Now 261 statute miles over the Caribbean. Again, we passed waypoint 0 and initiated an approach maneuver, approach 0, firing Dragon's service section Dracos to align and converge with waypoint 1 being directly in front of the International Space Station from this view. It's at the top of your view. That's where the International Docking Adapter is. You can sort of make it out now that the sun is illuminating the station itself. So that approach maneuver was successful, and Dragon itself converged onto waypoint 1. We did get a word from the ground teams here that the intent is to proceed past waypoint 1, so once it's directly 220 meters in front of the International Space Station, it will not pause. It will continue to move in. Inside the keep-out sphere, which is about 180 meters away from the station, and it will continue on to waypoint 2 at 20 meters. At 20 meters, it will pause and conduct a go-no-go poll to proceed past the waypoint 2 and in for a soft capture. Soft capture estimated less than 50 minutes from now at 2:10 a.m. Pacific time.
We have the sun shining very bright on the International Space Station right there. As we are entering sunrise, as Gary mentioned. Again, this is a view from Crew Dragon as it's approaching the International Space Station. And it is moving from below the station or between Earth and the station towards being adjacent or in front of the station.
So we'll hopefully continue to get these views for as long as possible. They are absolutely incredible. And then, of course, we have cameras on the International Space Station itself that'll be able to look at Dragon as it approaches the docking axis a little closer. Actually, yeah, we're getting some views even now as the Dragon's underneath and in front of the station. So we're expecting to converge on waypoint 1. Dragon, you're seeing from this view here, will make its way into the docking axis directly in front of the International Space Station. That whole maneuver expected to take about 21 minutes from now. And again, the plan will be to, as of now, will be to proceed past waypoint 1 and pause at waypoint 2 about 20 meters. So as Dragon makes this maneuver, you were seeing mostly the nadir side, or the side of the International Space Station that faces the Earth. Now, as we swing up in front of the station, you're starting to see more features, including some of the solar arrays. Each of those arrays about the size of a basketball court. And those arrays will provide enough power for all of the equipment on board the International Space Station, including communications and navigation and environmental control and life support equipment, as well as hundreds of experiments throughout the orbiting laboratory. Once Dragon docks to the International Space Station, an umbilical will be provided by the space station to provide power from those solar arrays to Dragon throughout its 6-month stay aboard.
Gary, you're mentioning the size of some of the components on the space station, but the space station altogether, what we're looking at here is approximately the size of a football field, right?
That's right. Oh, fantastic views from the International Space Station. You can see very clearly the Terminator line. So that's the line between light and dark now. That's over the North Atlantic Ocean. The International Space Station on a northeasterly course. It will